हाय गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। आज हम सॉल्व करेंगे चैप्टर द एनिमी के क्वेश्चन आंसर। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं फटाफट। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1। देयर आर मोमेंट्स इन लाइफ व्हेन वी हैव टू मेक हार्ड चॉइस बिटवीन आवर रोल्स एज प्राइवेट इंडिविजुअल्स एंड एज सिटीजन विद अ सेंस ऑफ नेशनल लॉयल्टी। डिस्कस विद द reference to the story you have just read. Answer. Sometimes we come across some moments in life when we are compelled to make hard choice between our roles as private individuals and as citizens with a sense of national loyalty. For instance, in the story The Enemy, Dr. Shadow and his wife Hannah saw a man on his hand and knees crawling from the veranda of their house. Shadow thought that he was perhaps a fisherman who was washed from his boat. They come towards the man, motionless with his face in the sand, and old Cap stroked his head soaked sea water. Shadow turned the man's head and they saw the face. They found that he was a white man. From his cap, Shadow found that he was US Navy sailor and thus was an American prisoner of war. It was the time of World War and America was an enemy country. The man had escaped and that is why he was wounded in the back. Now the problem with Dr. Shadow was what to do with the man. He hated him because he belonged to an enemy country. His national loyalty demanded that the young American should be handed over to the police. Dr. Shadow also thought of throwing the man back into the sea. Dr. Shadow was a Question number 2. Dr. Shadow was compelled by his duty as a doctor to help the enemy soldier. What made Hannah, his wife, sympathetic to him in the face of open defiance from the domestic staff? Answer. A wounded and unconscious young American prisoner of war was found outside their house. Dr. Shadow and his wife, Hannah, were puzzled as to what they should do with him. Firstly, they thought of throwing him back into the sea, but Hannah continued to stare down at the motionless man. The dilemma was that if they sheltered a white man in their house, they would be arrested, and if they turned him over to police as prisoners, he would certainly die. Hannah said that the kindest thing would be to put him back into the sea, but neither of them moved. They were staring with a curious repulsion upon the motionless figure. Hannah said to her husband that if the man could not be handed to the police because he was fatally bound, nor they could throw him back to the sea, then there was only one thing to do. They must carry him into the house. She said that they must simply tell to the servants that they intend to give him to the police, as indeed they must. They have both agreed and humanitarian ground to take the wounded man to their home. When her servant Yumi refused to wash the white man, Hannah decided to wash the man herself, whom she considered a wounded, helpless man. She, of course, did not do so because she had any sympathy for him. She was just helping her husband, who, as a doctor, would not possibly let a human being die if he could help him. Being a kind-hearted woman, she thought of him as a wounded, helpless human being. First thought he was enemy of whom she wanted to get rid of. If at all she was sympathetic or kind-hearted, she had such feelings for him as a human being who would die if he is not treated and not as an American prisoner of war. That is why she did what the thought was right despite the open defiance from all her servants. Question number 3. How would you explain the reflection of the soldier to leave the shelter of the doctor's home even when he knew he could not stay there without risk to the doctor and himself? Answer. Despite the fact that Dr. Shadow hated the young American prisoner of war, yet as a doctor's conscience provoked him, he treated him and thus saved his life. His wife Hannah washed him herself and served him herself as no servant was prepared to enter his room. The white man was surprised to hear Hannah tell him in English not to be afraid when he regained his sense. She told him that she was for a long time in America. Though Shadow and Hannah hated him, yet they treated him as a human being who was wounded and helpless. The young man also must be aware that though the servant had left the house because of him, yet the kind-hearted couple did not let him die. Though Dr. Shadow did not hide his hatred for the prisoners of war, yet a patient he treated him with all sincerity and dedication. Dr. Shadow had told about the prisoners of war to the old general to whom he was treating. The general told him that he would be sending private assassin to kill the young man, but after waiting for a few days, Dr. Shadow thought of a plan to get rid of the young American boy. So he told the young American that he was so well that if he put his boat on the shore tonight with food and extra clothing in it, he might be able to row to that little island not far from the coast where nobody lived. He could not live there until he would see a Korean fishing boat pass by. The young man started at him and asked, "Do I have to?" It shows his reflection to leave the shelter of the doctor's home. Dr. Shadow said that he will have to leave as it is not hidden that he was there in the house. The young man must be feeling grateful for Dr. Shadow and Hannah's kind-heartedness. Moreover, he might be afraid of the cruel treatment which he could undergo. That is why he was reluctant. Question number 4. What explains the attitude of the general in the matter of enemy soldier? Was it human consideration, lack of national loyalty, dereliction of duty, of simply self-absorption? Answer. A messenger came to Dr. Shadow's house and said that Dr. Shadow should not come to the palace as the general was in pain again. Dr. Shadow told the general about the young man and said that he cared nothing for the man. The general said that Dr. Shadow could not be arrested because he might be needed for his operation. The general told Dr. Shadow that it was very unfortunate that his man should have washed up on his doorstep. Then the general said that it would be best if the young American was quietly killed. He said that he had his own private assassin who kill him tonight or any night. He told Shadow that he should leave the outer partition of the white man's room open for this purpose. Shadow said that it is left open every night, but the assassin promised by the old general did not come. Dr. Shadow wanted to get rid of the young American boy, so he arranged for his escape. But he told the general that the young man had escaped. The general had grown quite weak because he had been operated upon a week ago. It was an emergency operation to which Shadow had been called in the night. The general said that he had promised Dr. Shadow that he would kill the young American. The general admitted that it was certainly very careless of him. He told Dr. Shadow that he should understand that it was not lack of patriotism and negligence of duty, but the general said that he was suffering to a great extent. He admitted the truth that he thought of nothing by but himself. As such, I think it was due to his self-aversion. Question number 5. While hatred against a member of the enemy race is justifiable, especially during wartime, what makes a human being rise above narrow prejudices or individuals who belong to energy countries tend to hate each other even if they don't know each other personally. At times, it is seen that some of them rise above such prejudices. What makes a human being do so? Answer. Though all human beings come from the same stock, yet by the passage of time, they are divided into the narrow walls of nation, religion, caste, and creed. When organized war started, more and more deadly weapons are used, and the feelings of animosity grew stranger. Gradually, hatred with the enemy countries became an accepted feeling, and it was considered to be justifiable. This feeling of justifying the hatred grew stronger during wartime. Now, hatred against a member of the enemy race is considered totally justifiable, more so during wartime. That is why the prisoners of war are treated in such a inhuman way. But still, we find a few exceptional human beings who rise above these narrow prejudices. Survival of humanity and of a human beings of a paramount importance to them. Still, we can find a large number of people in the whole world those not only want to safeguard human values but they are against war also. They feel that possession of deadly atomic weapons can totally destroy the world. That is why Dr. Shadow, despite being deadly against the prisoners of war who belong to an enemy country, treated him and saved his life. His medical professions had trained him to save the life of human being as far as he could do so. This bond of humanity makes a human being rise above the narrow prejudices. Question number 6. Do you think the doctor's final solution to the problem was the best possible one in the circumstance? Answer. Dr. Shadow found a chance of very badly wounded young American prisoners of war in front of his house. Firstly, he thought of throwing him back into the sea because he could be arrested for giving shelter to a prisoner of war. Then he thought that if he would hand over him to the police, he wounded young man bound definitely die. His medical training did not allow him to let a man die if he could save his life, so he brought him home, operated upon him, and thus saved his life. But for this Dr. Shadow had to undergo hardship. His servants left him. He was always in danger of being arrested. He was treating the old general. He told the general about the circumstance under which he had to treat the young man. Dr. Shadow said that he did not care at all for them men. The general told him that he would send his private assassins to Dr. Shadow's house to kill the man quietly. Dr. Shadow waited for so many days, but the assassin did not come. Dr. Shadow desperately wanted to get rid of the young American, so he arranged a boat for him to escape to a scheduled island. I think the doctor's final solution was the best possible or under the circumstance. Thank you so much.